1250 ESPN San Antonio for everything Cowboys. From Dallas Cowboys Training Camp, brought to you by Jason Thompson, the Thompson Law Firm, Dennis Jewelry Company, and by Papa Nachos.
1250 ESPN San Antonio in Oxnard, California at Dallas Cowboys Training Camp. It is the Blitz along with Dat Nguyen. I'm Jason Minnix, now joined by linebacker Sean Lee. Sean, the way last season ended with you with the injury, how glad are you just to be out there playing football?
It's great to be back with my teammates. I love being around like-minded guys, trying to accomplish a goal. So being out there playing the game I love is great. I feel great. I feel healthy. I think I had a great OTAs, and I'm ready to be back.
Talking about that injury there, Sean, and you had a turf toe or a toe injury. Could you share with us how did you rehab and what you have to do, and what was the worst thing about it?
Well, you'd be amazed. I never thought a toe would keep me out like this and would hurt as bad as it did. And basically that toe, the ligament that I tore, all the push off your toe, that's what you use. So it took time. The surgery, I had about 8 weeks where I couldn't move the toe back, and then it was just getting flexibility and strength back, and it took about 4 or 5 months. And then when I came around to OTAs, it kind of was getting used to playing football again. I'd feel great, and then I'd be sore for 2 days, and then I'd feel great. At this point, I'm 100%. I really don't feel too much soreness at all.
Are you surprised, Sean, at how much pain is associated with a toe, of all things?
They told me there's a ton of nerves in your feet and your toes, but I would never have thought that. I would have thought, even when I was injured, when I originally got injured that game, I said, well, I'll be back next week. And I found out, no, you won't be. You'll be back next year. So it's one of those things. It's part of football. You got to find a way. The more mature you are, you handle injuries, the better you come back.
So everybody talks about how you love the game. We watch you, and I've seen you play, and I'm a huge fan of watching you play. You're almost a throwback player, linebacker position. How is it now going through all the CBA and having all these walkthroughs? Do you rather hit than have to go walk through?
I think the key for now, Obviously, I'd like to have another type of practice in the morning and get as many reps as possible. The thing with the walkthrough is you can get, and you've seen it, you can get mental reps and you can get better through a walkthrough, but it's all about your sense urgency and the intensity that you go through a walkthrough. It should be more of a jog through, where you're taking your steps, your eyes are on your keys, and you're moving from key to key through your progressions. And if you do that, you can slow it down just a little, so when you get to practice, you speed it up and you have it locked in.
So on those walkthroughs, though, sometimes fundamentally, bad habits, you establish all that. How do you break that out? Because you just run through or pass by or touch the guy, do you sink your hips just like a tackling? And how can you make it more game-like?
You have to, like naturally now, which we're a week into camp, guys are sore from camp, and the walkthrough comes in the morning, and mentally you kind of lose your edge. You have to tell yourself, hey, I need to find a way to get better fundamentally with my feet, with my hips, with my reads, and that's how you really take advantage of walkthrough. And in the long run, it could be better for you if you do it right. But at the same point, if you do it wrong, you could take a step backwards.
Sean Lee with us here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio. Sean, Dad's just a little upset because he tells stories about going 10 two-a-days full contact practice, and he thinks it's a little too easy on you guys now.
You know what? It is a lot easier than it used to be, and we've heard the stories, and obviously we respect what you guys went through. It was a different time, and I think it's good in a sense where I think it can help you from a health-wise standpoint, but at the same point, you got to get football is a skilled sport. People might not see it as much, but there's a lot of skill and a lot of reading and getting things locked in to play fast. And to do that, you have to practice, and you have to practice hard and fast. And that's why those walkthroughs are so important, and that's why this extra week we have couldn't help us in this new defense.
The experience that you're getting, the fourth season, really the game kind of slows down a little bit, and you start understanding what's going on with your position and people around you. What are you doing this year to improve yourself as an individual, as a player, and becoming a leader for this team?
But the key for me as a middle linebacker, you have to know the defense inside and out. You have to know how teams attack it, what the weaknesses are, and you have to be really quick with all your with all your reads, all your calls, get everybody lined up so you can concentrate on what we call pre-snap indicators, formations, personnel, and what a team likes to do from a game plan situation. So taking that to another level where I know the defense so well that I'm anticipating what teams like to do, how they attack us. That's how you put yourself in position to make plays.
Sean Lee with us here on the Blitz. Sean, talk about this defense with Monty Kiffin coming in, you and Bruce Carter. When you were still healthy last year, the tandem that you guys are and the number of tackles you had, how good can this defense be?
I think the defense can be really good, but until we're that consistent defense, all the hype means nothing. I mean, Bruce and I as linebackers, we need to find a way to get better. I think we started to be on the right path last year to get better. But we still have a lot of work to do. We can improve in so many areas that we need to have that sense of urgency that, hey, if we want to be a consistent defense, we got to put that work in every day and grind.
How good can this defense really be this year?
We can be very good this year. We can be that consistent defense we need to be. I think we have all the tools and all the players in place. The key, though, is effort and turnovers. That's what we talk about every day. If we want to be great, we got to have that effort week in and week out.
And you talk about turnover. What are you guys emphasizing? What is coaches telling you, and how this defense will force all those turnovers that you need to get the offensive momentum or the edge?
Number one is getting to the football, effort. Run to every football. And when you get to the football, just try to strip the football every time. The key is it's not acceptable to not catch a pass. If you have a chance to go and catch the ball, you have to catch it. If you look at the, Coach Kiffin's defenses and Coach Marinelli, those teams, they found a way to get turnovers. A lot of it, they're around the ball, they knock it out. That's something we need to do.
And Sean, you talk about that, and Monty Kiffin comes in. This defense is designed to create turnovers. How different is it? You go from Coach Ryan to Monty Kiffin.
Like I said, there's certain situations that are similar and some that aren't. Coach Ryan had a lot of variation, a lot of different defenses. So some of the stuff I've been in situations before, but some of the defense here I've not played. So the key for me is to get really good at it really fast, and that takes a lot of work and a lot of concentration.
With Ryan, there was a lot of talk when in his first year that he had it too complicated. Then he needed to simplify it. This defense, you hear, it is a simpler defense. Is it making it easier as a unit to grasp?
I think. I don't like to call it simpler because if you want to know a defense inside and out, it's never simple. There's less variation. So we can get really good. We're going to be in similar situations over and over and over again to where we can get really good at them. Now, the key is how does a team like to attack that? How do you adjust to that? How do you work on your technique and change to where you can be successful in it?
You're talking about the variation and going out there trying to get the perfect defense with the perfect formation or situation. When you guys are out there, when you're out there, do you get the power to say, hey, this is not what we want, we can check it? Do they give you that power as a quarterback to check out of plays yet?
Yeah, we have a few things where, certain formations and what we'd like to do, we can make some checks. Usually that we'll see come the season when we start game planning more. That's when we'll start to see that. Now I think we're trying to work on the fundamentals and basics to where we master that and have such a good base. When we start game planning, we have a lot to build off of.
Sean Lee with us here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio. I know we're a week into camp, but do you start looking and focusing on your opponents this season? You look in the division, you've got RG3 in Washington, the way he runs the ball. You also look at Chip Kelly now in Philadelphia, what we expect to see from those guys. Are you looking ahead at what you're going to have to do defensively against some of those guys?
I think in the offseason we've looked ahead, and we know the type of challenges they present. I mean, I think this defense gives us an opportunity to play well against those teams, but like I said, if we want to be a consistent defense, we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to tackle well against those quarterbacks, and they're going to give us a ton of challenges. So the key for us is to get good right now and get good fast, because if we don't, we're going to be playing these teams. It's going to be a tough deal.
Everybody's talking about, we talk about the defense, everybody's DeMarcus Ware and Sean Lee, Bruce Carter, all you guys. What is your goal for 2013 as an individual, as a middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys?
I want to be the best leader that I can be on our team, and I want to do my job, and whatever my role is, I want to maximize that. I want to do whatever I can, every single play, to do my job the best I can and run to every football and be nonstop on the football field. I love the number one trait I want as a linebacker is active. I want to be active. I want to be around the ball. I want to be on the film every time. When they go to the ball carrier, I should be either close to him or running close to him, and that's the key for me.
And one thing is that, and nobody really talks about it, we always have some weaknesses. What is one of the weaknesses that you're trying to work on and trying to get better at?
I think I could become a better blitzer. I think I can time my blitzes better. I think I can, just get that extra. I think I was on my way to blitzing better last year, but I think that's where I can take another step. But at the same point, I watch my game, and there's the run game, the pass game, I look at film, and I tend to look at the negative more than the positive. So I feel like in all three phases, I can really improve.
And that's pretty typical. You're going to look at the negative. But when you talk about wanting to be a better blitzer, for the average person out there listening that has no idea, what do you work on specifically to try to make that improvement?
Well, I think it's a combination of timing the snap. I think it's a combination of explosiveness, and I think it's of being able to use your hands. If you can use your hands, explosive with your pad level, and you can time it well, then you can become a good blitzer.
And Sean, with the Hall of Fame game coming up later this week, you look at the extra week of training camp, the extra preseason game. Most people find training camp a grind. You've mentioned a couple of times about getting into camp early, having that extra week. Are you just, get through training camp and get to Cowboy Stadium and get that first game underway?
No, it's not a get-through training. See, that's the attitude that can kill you. You get through training camp. It's maximizing the time we have here. It's natural in training camp. You get beat down, and your body tells you, man, you got to relax, We have to push through it. Because if we want to be the type of team we want to be, we got to mentally be stronger than how we feel at times.
Good deal, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.